Bethesda's next big game is Starfield, and while it's one of the most anticipated games for this year, we still don't know very much about it. Short CGI clips, small interviews, and developer diaries are all we have to go on, and they don't say or show much, and it's safe to say Bethesda are holding their cards very close to their chest. But I've rounded up a whole bunch of information on the game, so let's get started. Here's everything we know so far about Starfield. Starfield is releasing on the 11th of November 2022, and it's an exclusive to Xbox Series X and S and PC. It's also a day one on Xbox Game Pass. This is also Bethesda's first new universe in over 25 years, imagine that. You play a space explorer as part of a team called the Constellation, trying to uncover the mysteries of this new universe. The game is set in the year 2330 with a more grounded vision of what that year would look like in space, and they're actively trying to work in technology that is scientifically possible. Todd Howard even took a trip to Elon Musk's company, SpaceX, to get some space inspiration. Starfield is set in a huge new open world. Well, worlds, known as the Settled Systems. You'll be traveling to loads of different planets, each with their own unique themes and environments. Bethesda say it's going to have unparalleled freedom. Todd Howard spoke about these step-out moments, which is where a new player is first introduced to the world that they're going to be playing in. And he said that Starfield is going to have two of these moments. I'm going to assume one of the first step-out moments is going to be when you take your first steps out of your ship into a massive high-detailed planet, and the other one is going to be seeing space for the first time, so departing a planet into space and seeing how big the star system they've created actually is. But how big is it really? Well, they're saying it's big enough and has so much freedom that, for example, if you're talking to a friend who is also playing Starfield, it will sound like they're playing something completely different to you, which I love. The last game that done that for me was Elden Ring. Bethesda have shared snippets of information about 3 of the main worlds already. Aquila City, where the people are all about freedom and individuality. Another is Neon City, which is built on an aquatic world where fishermen have discovered that a particular fish could be turned into drugs, and Neon have been thriving on this ever since. And New Atlantis City, which is home to the United Colonies, because these worlds are home to a variety of different groups and factions. The one I just mentioned, the United Colonies, who are all about taking steps forward to make space life better and have the strongest military and political power out of any faction in the game. A faction called the 3-Star Collective, who are all in on a space western fantasy. They also spoke about Ryujin Industries, who are all corporate, and from the sounds of it, you have a choice to align yourself with one of these factions or groups from the very start, because it's all about your choice. This is of course a role-playing game, and the character you play will be your own, but apparently you can create anyone you want, so I expect to see some pretty in-depth customization options. Todd Howard said because of the RPG games out today that players sort of know what to expect of these sorts of things like stats, player backgrounds, and traits, so they're trying their hardest to take a new approach to make it feel fresh. Starfield is a game that Bethesda has dreamt of making and playing themselves, but it just couldn't be done on the hardware at the time. Bethesda have actually been speaking about Starfield internally for about 10 years now. But now, with new technology, next-gen platforms, and a completely new engine to build it on, it is finally possible. The engine they're using is called Creation Engine 2, and it's also what the next Elder Scrolls 6 will be built on. The lead artist for Starfield, East Van Peely, spoke about some of the new tech being used and expanded upon, like photogrammetry, which is a process of extracting 3D data from real-world photographs to give environments and now characters a never-seen-before level of detail in an RPG. There is alien-like monsters and creatures that will be dangerous to you out in the world. For example, just outside of the walls of Aquila City, there are monsters known as the Ashtar, who are described as a hybrid of werewolf and velociraptor. But there are also human threats out in the Settled Systems as well that we have had a quick look at. The Ecliptic Mercenaries, the Pirates of the Crimson Fleet, Violent Spaces, and even though these are the bad guys, there is an option to join them also. There will also be companions joining you on your journey, and they're taking steps to make them more immersive by giving them actions and voice lines that more accurately reflect and react to what you're doing at any given moment. And speaking of voice lines, there are more than 150,000 voice lines in Starfield. And just so you can compare, Fallout 4 had 111,000 and Skyrim had 60,000. Bethesda are building Starfield with longevity in mind. In their Endless Pursuits Viaduct, they say they want Starfield to stand the test of time, just like how Elder Scrolls Skyrim did, and how the fact that Skyrim is still being spoken about and played to this day has heavily influenced Starfield's game design. That's everything we know about Starfield. What do you guys think? Are you excited for it? Is there still not enough information to kind of pique your interest? Let us know down in the comments. Check out vg247.com. My name is Durrani. Peace out, everyone.